It's the first hand I have seen. Thank you. Please proceed. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Xavier, kindly please, if you will take your seats. We will please give a brief opportunity, of course, to His Excellency the Governor, who will make some remarks at this event before we go into the interaction. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for His Excellency the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Udom Emmanuel. Thank you very much. Can we give a better round of applause to a governor that has made this state? Thank you.
Please, shall we be seated? Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, our party secretary, the ruling party in Akwa Ibom State, honorable commissioners here present, I have Commissioner for Information, Commissioner for Health, Commissioner for Lands, Commissioner for Environment, representing the College of Commissioners. I have senior special assistants that are here. Then, of course, the whole program this evening. I'm not the chief host. I'm only the man you want to ask questions. The chief host is the NUJ president. So that's why you see him. His chair is higher than my own. So he's the one hosting all of us. He's just giving me space to speak. Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, this in fulfillment of my promise, and I know some of you are surprised to see me in this cap today. We lost our international president of Mbogong Parawa Ibibi. So we just came back from the funeral service. So to show that I'm a bona fide member of Mbogo, I have to obey and also make sure I come out in my full regalia. I'm a member of all. Atiena, I'm a member. Sun Lavaro, I'm a member. Oboli Itige, I'm a member. Which other one? Ofi Wareket, I'm a member. And so I'm a member of all social cultural groups. So I would rather start by saying good afternoon, gentlemen of the press. This is just to align with the promise I made that we will create room for frequent interaction with the press. Even though after our last meeting here, I kept to my own rule of the game, but a whole lot of you did not keep to your own rule. The last time we agreed on a very simple rule. The rule was that you do your own, I do my own. But I've been doing my own, you've not been doing your own. I was so straightforward. I would not do something just to align with the promise I made. That to my own rule of the game. But a whole lot of you did not keep to your own rule. The last time we agreed on a very simple rule. What the rule was that defined in our context was that you do your own, I do my own. But I've been doing my own, you've not been doing your own. I was so straightforward. All in the name that we want to sell different papers or probably will sell our information. And finally, that we will not tell a lie. I want to believe I've kept my own. But I've been doing my own, you've not been doing your own. I was so straightforward. Just want to believe. I would just stay together for 3 years. To align with the promise I made. We should be able to have that to my own rule of the game. But a whole lot of you did not keep to your own rule. The last time we agreed on the very same thing, that we will not tell a lie. I want to believe. But I've been doing my own, you've not been doing your own. I was so stressed. tell a lie. I want to believe. But I've been doing my own, you've not been doing your own. So let us not do it. We cannot be an island. We cannot develop ourselves on our own. We need other. Let us not do it. We cannot be an island. We cannot develop ourselves on our own. So we need other. An appeal as we go into this session. And let me also make an appeal. It actually matter. You see, pictures will change. Let us not do it. We cannot be an island. We cannot develop ourselves on our own. We need other. Tomorrow it could be any other face. But what will remain is Akwa Ibom and Akwa Ibom people. So whatsoever we do, let's get that. For the fact that there's a face today on a billboard doesn't call for the level of insult and abuses a lot of people reign on the seat of government that we all participate. Because whatsoever what are we telling the whole world? It's not about Udom, it's about the seat of government. If I go out today, some people might not even know my name, but they will say that's the government of Akwa Ibom State. Or that's the governor of Akwa Ibom State. So it's about all of us. It has nothing to do with me alone as a person. It has something to do with 6.2 million people. So the seat of government is something that we should guide jealously, no matter how under pressure we are to write or to do anything. So please, let's just be guided a little. Today is me, tomorrow it will be another person. It could be you tomorrow. It could be any other person. Photographs will change, billboards will change. But let's make sure at the end of the day, what we do will remain Akwa Ibomite. And we can be proud outside that we defended our state and defended our seat of government with whatsoever that we are doing. Let it not be just about us and us alone. Let me say here that I want to thank all of you. No matter how under pressure we are to write or to do it, under pressure we are to write or to do anything. So please, let me say media houses generally. And you know, support could come in two forms. At times your criticism could be support. Because in that case you're pointing to me certain things that probably people working with me may not have told me. So to me it could be support. What you thought is negative could actually turn out to be positive. So I just want to thank all of you for the support that I've received, and that we've entered into a new political season. And I just want us to also believe me and trust me for it. I take each and every one of us as a family, and we can actually run this state as a family, and to the envy of every other person outside this state. So I just see you people as partners. Information is so relevant. Information is key. Information is power. But let our information be positive. Let our information be reliable. Let our information impact lives positively. Let our information that we have create the enabling environment for businesses, for economy to actually thrive. So I'll always maintain that I will always welcome and really, really appreciate constructive criticism that can enable us to do better. Because I've never claimed to know everything on planet Earth. It's only God who knows all. No man knows all. And also it's only God who runs without a single mistake. Every human being, every man makes one mistake or the other, as far as it's not a costly mistake to the society. Well, we are here on an interactive session, and I want to say something but nothing but the truth. If I want to start to enumerate what we've done in the past 3 years, 4 hours can never be enough. And trust me for that. So there's a booklet Commissioner for Information published, our 3 years in office. Not the flyers. There's a full booklet. I think that's okay, is about that. Which we've taken pain.
And also it's only God who runs without a single mistake. Every human being, every man makes one mistake or the other, as far as it's not a costly mistake to the 3
There are some
years.
things that we purposely omitted here.
4 hours
And
can never,
we come by way of question.
not the
Take for
flyers.
example, we purposely refuse to put our deep sea port there. Because, I mean, we're all Akwa Ibom people here. We know a whole lot of people are not happy on the progress we've made. So, because of where we are today, we are at the last stage. We cannot put it here. We still need to guard what we have jealously. Once it's time for us to blow open everything we've done, I tell you, there are a few things we could not actually keep. When we are placing adverts for different stages, people certainly will see those ones in the newspaper. But after that, we might not get the full details of what probably we could have put in this paper. And those who live in the coastal line, I'm sure you can see, we are opening up a highway that will take us through that coastal line. It's going to be like 56 kilometers of highway. But for today, I want to take it to where the main deep sea port will be and create some spur so that the investors can actually come visit. I'm sure those of you read in the newspaper where we are today, you've seen that we've pre-qualified and so on. Second thing, I'm sure if you check that booklet, you will not find is our logistics center in Ikorobasi. I call it Liberty Free Trade Zone, that will take care of a whole lot. You know, we are building an industrial park, we are creating a logistics center, we are doing an oil and gas logistics center in Ikorobasi. We've actually that one gotten an investor. An investor is doing all preliminary surveys that needed to be done. We've gotten a provisional approval to date. But also that it's not something we would like to start now blowing to the whole public. But if you have it as a question, you can actually ask me here. Thirdly, I think a whole lot about power, what we've done in power, we've not captured all there. Because the stage we are right now, we've done our own part, especially what I'm doing in Ekam, is one of the best. I stand to be quoted anywhere. If you're an electrical engineer, you can quote me anywhere. What we are doing today in Ekam is one of the best in Nigeria as far as substations are concerned. So that we've not also captured fully in essence here, because we are at the stage now that we need to partner with Transmission Company of Nigeria. I don't, you know, everywhere on earth there's envy, there's jealousy. I don't want where people will now jump in and then start, you know, inciting Transmission Company. How come you are allowing such thing in Akwa Ibom? Why not in Abuja? No, not at all. Once we finish with commission, then we'll blow open and you'll be left to see what has happened. And a whole lot of investment we've done in power. If you go to Eket, you see we're also still building a substation. We're about starting one in Oron, want to envelop the whole of Uyo. But even the ones we've done in Uyo as of today, the power we're bringing to you is grossly underutilized because of vandalism and also PHEDC. They complain to me that so many of you refuse to pay for power. So because of that, they don't give you power. I said, well, I don't have a license for distributorship. But what I can do is to make sure they don't charge you as much as they should charge, because every single infrastructure of that power I provide. I buy them transformers. Even when cables have problems, I provide those things. Even when the substation got burnt, I did it. So in a bid to bring down the tariff, so it's also good I have a feedback so that I can also put it across to them. That if I put in the investment, it's so that you can charge my people lesser amount of that consumption. I generate the power. I give you infrastructure. So what you do is the power I generate and send to, they have not even been paid for. I'm being owed almost 10 billion naira as of today for the power we've generated and given to National Grid. NBET is just to work out and then pay us for that power. But because, I mean, the power station belongs to government, and we try to see how our people can benefit. So that's why you see us do a whole lot. Then as of today, I think at least one other major advantage there is we've been able to draw that power directly to the airport. I'm going to still find time to commission that. I have more projects to commission than the number of days I have in the next 2 months. So probably we hope to spread it, and it might last till September, because things like the greenhouses, which you all know, I've not even entered that. I have a rice mill today in India I'm yet to commission. I'm setting up a cocoa processing plant, one of the best. I'm yet to even inspect and know whether it's ready for commissioning. I've dropped that power station, 15, I think double 2 by 15 mH power station at the Bombay port now. And once I do direct, power supply from our should be able to give the airport at least light at the very worst round the clock, so that we can reduce most of those things, and to also do similar things to Ibom specialists, to the stadium, and probably to the university and then teaching hospital. So we've done a whole lot in terms of power, but that I hope this thing is not from our back. That they don't want me to speak. So certainly, if I want to sit down and start going through this one by one, 4 hours will not be enough. And all of you, probably some of you who read what we commission, I have not gone to one single secondary school or primary school to commission one building yet. And I've renovated 346 of such schools. All the other things we supply in school. And when you're also criticizing me, know that everything I do is subject to available resources. I have, we are running free and compulsory education. So even pupils and students from neighboring states, they come in here. West Etam School here is 4,000 something students. West Etam here. Uyo High School is over 5,000. So you can imagine, even if I provide 1,000, 2,000 seats today, the surge in population and also the way they handle those seats. Tomorrow, if you go there, you might see 100 students not being able to get seats. You go and write, this here we are. Even the oil that you're reporting, you never reported that I'm not even getting 20% of what I should be getting. While the oil prices is going up, my revenue is coming down. These are public information. And this is where you people should shout to the whole world. Nobody is shouting. Because whatsoever I do is subject to available resources. I don't have so much that can make an impact out of my personal resource. So I must rely on what comes to the state. So there are some schools that we provide 1,000 seats every quarter, but it's still not enough. Because these are small children. They damage those seats, and you must also replace them. And you see somebody will just go to one corner of one of those schools and just snap 2, 3, 4, 20, let me even say 20 students. How many states in Nigeria today run free and compulsory education? And you also pay WAEC fees for students, and then you won't have upsurge in number of students. These are some of the challenges that we have, in which we are trying to sort out. Please, when we are writing some of these things, let's write as if you are encouraging us to do more. So most of those things people write and report, they are not 100% the true position of what we have. And some of these schools, some of them are in riverine areas. Most of you have never crossed water to see the number of students or pupils we have across the water. We do that. In fact, there's a city in East Nobolo. I had to look for a badge to transport electric poles across in order to give them light, so that they can have the sense of belonging. I mean, we don't bother people. I keep saying so. When I started from day one, I said we are on a course. We are not on an applause. So don't expect that everything we do will be able to come and shout on top of the roof for you to be able to praise us. We are not doing those things so that you might praise us. We are doing those things because we know this is what our people deserve. They deserve better quality of life based on the resources that we have. And also, everything you do, have it at the back of your mind, that we are trying to create an economy, knowing fully well, government alone cannot do everything. If we have a very strong economy, a lot of people would have actually given seats, even buses, science laboratory equipment to schools as CSR. But because we don't have those corporate bodies, everything is on government. Here, even when an electric pole drops in any community, everybody calls the governor to come and erect a new pole. And we do that religiously. Nobody, no community effort, no CR, no support anywhere. Anybody, and people in the hinterland who are even sick, that need probably medical treatment outside the shores of this country, 90% of them write back to government. And we are supporting. If my secretary to the state government were to be here, we probably would have tried to see how much statistics we would have given you as we spend on Akwa Ibom people every single month on medical treatment abroad. These things all scramble for the same amount of resources that we have. So I believe, without having what I used to call a lizardic tendency, based on the resources within our disposal, based on our transparency in financial reporting, our accountability, and a very transparent government that we run, on the basis of all amount of sincerity you can think of, I can say in the past 3 years, I want to believe that we've done excellent in the past 3 years. I just want to believe the press can score me the same too. Even if you don't score me now, when you drive through all the village roads in Uyo, when you come back, if you're a landlord and you see the value of your property almost tripling overnight, even right inside your bedroom, if you don't want to say it to my face, you will just tell God that I thank you, oh God, for the governor that we have, who had done everything humanly possible to bring development to this place. Even people in neighboring states, they come here to celebrate us because we take road to them so that most of them use our airports. See the number of roads we've done to link neighboring states, and those roads are all world class. See how we link up, even though it never was completely cut off. We came within 2 years, drive through Ibrahim Road, and then come back and give us, your report. As of today, my target is from that Odukpani Itu Road. We used to call it, how did we used to call it before now? Calabar Itu. The Odukpani, from that place up to QIT, my plan is somebody should drive on a dualized thoroughfare. And if you drive through day and night, you see the quantum of work going on. Julius Berger is taking, though Uyo people have warned me not to call that place Ekomiman Junction. Uyo people, how do I call that junction? Ikoroku Ikono. Okay. From Ikoroku Ikono Junction up to Etinan Junction. I don't know how many people have passed through Etinan Junction of recent. I'm sure if you go there, you miss your way. So, from Ikoroku Ikono Junction up to Etinan Junction is Julius Berger. From Etinan Junction to Eket is CECC. Eket to Ibrahim will finish. Then Eket Town Urbanization is done by Nijapet. Oran Urbanization is done by Wischino. And few other major centers that had not been touched at all. So, in a nutshell, I believe if I want to go one by one, but please feel free. In area of education, social welfare, that one I don't need to say about it. The whole world knows. Starting from sports development, training. I just finished a meeting now where we are going to make Akwa Ibom a hub for Microsoft. We are going to start that in the next 2 weeks so that we can actually bring up a whole lot of people. So if you go to Ministry of Science and Tech now, that lab we've created that can take 200 people. We want to make a hub because this is an era of ICT. A lot of people are making, look at even writing apps. I read somewhere where somebody just developed an app and a major, ICT company came and bought that app for almost about $3 billion. So tell me, if that were to be an Akwa Ibom person, it would be richer than the state government. And you can imagine the impact that will be on the economy of a state. Let me not even go far. Even if that person gets $30 million, even $3 million, imagine the impact that person will have on his family, immediate family, and then the state at large. We want to create a base, we want to create an economic base where people can actually solidly know that when they earn something or when they earn a living, that thing will have value and then will increase with time. So in area of social development, you can score us all around. Even though, well, like any other society, you might have challenges here or there. I don't like discussing security. I mean, when I'm looking at the camera. But if you actually want to be sincere, you cannot, I mean, I don't take glory about security because I'm a Christian. And we are meant to understand that except the Lord watches over the city, we that watch, we do what? We watch but in vain. So it's one area I've never taken glory because that glory belongs to God. I don't even take praise for it. But I want to believe as human beings, we've done our very best to make sure you go in, you sleep and you sleep well. And what is happening in Okanafo and Atemegbo, we all know here that those things are sponsored. But even with that, we are at them, we are tracking them, we're on their neck. We're on their neck. Whoever is sponsoring them, well, good luck to that person. Because one day we'll get to the sponsors. The only unfortunate situation is, so many of them, they don't like talking. I don't like discussing security on camera. But I'm sure you can actually bear us testimony. So in all ramifications, in agri today, even if we've not done any other thing, the what we've created, the awareness we've created in agriculture is awesome. It's awesome. The impact is wonderful. I went to commission a corn shredding and drying company in Ibesikbo. You could see even the awareness for people coming to dry and shred their corn, mechanically, so that it can actually compete with the world market. It can actually be okay for us to export. Just that awareness alone. And people now beginning to realize that they cannot still sell cocoa to others. Unfortunately, we don't all understand vernacular. Well, I've spoken this one in vernacular. In those days, people will sit from morning till night, crack palm kernel. People will come from other places using bicycle, motorcycle, pickup, on any market day, pack it and leave. Those are the ones that sell it to Unilever. Those are the ones that sell it to those other people at a competitive market price. Our people do the whole work without getting the competitive market for it. So appropriate pricing was not there. Same thing with cocoa and so on. We are recreating everything. The refinery that we are building in Parenin, I keep saying so, we'll process raw coconut crude oil and then palm kernel oil, raw crude. Then you show me where in Africa, as of today, you can process raw crude coconut oil. People outside are appreciating. We may not realize that now. Yesterday, we just commissioned a fertilizer blending plant. As we were commissioning, people all over, I don't want to mention the states they were coming from, were placing order. The day we commissioned metering factory here, a lot of people did not see the economic impact of that. But today, everywhere in the world, somebody actually sent it to me. He said it is a breaking news that after National Assembly visited the metering solutions factory in Akwa Ibom, they adjusted without any element of bias. They are not members of PDP. But what is good is good. The truth stands up. Say when they visited the metering solutions factory, they adjudged it as the best so far they've seen in Nigeria. I mean, these are things that people don't even. Even this afternoon, somebody sent me a text. He said, Your Excellency, God will bless you. I've succeeded in being one of the major distributors of the syringe manufacturing factory. That what we used to go through, even to open LCs, for us to get syringe from China, that we don't go through that stress again. Even the open market position that we used to do, even the foreign exchange that we used to suffer to look for, to bring syringes from China. And the syringes we are buying here, the quality is much better. Because the technology is from Vienna in Austria. It's not from Asia. This technology is from Vienna in Austria. And they're 100% run by the Europeans. Quality is much better. Price is much lower than what they were buying from China. And meanwhile, somebody will just send me a text. This is your industrialization. We are not seeing as if I'm going to create 1,000 industries in one day. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. If I don't get it right, with these ones they are doing now. I will not get it right when they are up to 200 and so on. And meanwhile, our own duty is to create an enabling environment and then also talk to foreign investors. And what you write will determine whether they come or not. So it's not just me. I'm doing my own part. You need to also do your own part. I'm yet to see how most of you inside this room will sell Akwa Ibom. Sell this place as that place that they need to be. And at the end of the day, you can also take the credit that you were the one that brought this foreign investor or not. And I promise you, whoever you bring, if it needs power, I'll give the person power. Whatsoever the person needs as a major enabling environment, I'll give. The road network we are doing, by the time we finish, there is no two local government areas that cannot link themselves together. We are not just building roads, we are building roads of economic network so that we can actually network our infrastructure and get people to also have enabling environment to operate. Same thing with education. Whatsoever we do is of highest quality. Today, enter schools that we've rebuilt and then come back and give us a report. The Chief of Naval Staff went to commission. All of us used to pass through Ikontwen for several years. It was a den of hoodlums. The number of reptiles we killed the day we cleaned up that place can actually manufacture a shoe that will be worn by the whole of Akwa Ibom people that we killed from that place. But when we finished, rebuild the whole place, made it up. When the Chief of Naval Staff entered that place, he asked me, did you want to build a university here? I told him, well, I built it with hope that after you've created a command science school, you give me a naval war college. Same thing with the one we have in Etinam, command army school. So as of today, we have it all around. We have police, air force, army, navy. The question is, why are you so particular about it? I'm particular about quality of education. Education is not only about what you teach students in class. The number one thing about education, number one thing about your children at home, number one thing about any African today is just one word that is lacking: discipline. That's what will make the whole lot of difference. That discipline will definitely change things. That's why when you go to school, somebody will ask you, say, what's your discipline? That's the question they normally ask you. That's one word that makes a whole lot of difference between Africans and the rest of the world. So why I'm in particular about that is, I don't know, the same, watch out, the same Akwa Ibom person today, even let me use Ukpe as an example. If Ukpe is on a task right now and he has a challenge as a GM and DG of AKBC, do you know he can easily give up? But if Ukpe is wearing a uniform, either in Nigerian Army or Navy, and he has a challenge on the way, he must produce results. He will not come back with excuses. He must produce results. Take for example, if we are to set up something now, say in Ikono, Ukpe reaches Itu, and probably the truck sinks there. Do you know he's bound to come back and give me an excuse that the truck sunk on the way? It will be completely different if Ukpe is in uniform and expect that the service chief is to visit Ikono. Ukpe will do everything humanly possible to bring out those things that are inside that truck and take it to that venue and get it to work. Same Ukpe, same Abak local government, same Akwa Ibom blood, two different results. Why? Because of discipline. Same person, same food, same water, same everything, but just two separate results because of that word discipline. So that's why I'm so particular about some of those schools here, and we give them the best thing. And I also look at, we're not actually competing in terms of engineering in this area, because even the Federal Polytechnic in Ukana was to be purely for technology and engineering. So what we did was to partner with ExxonMobil so that we could establish one of the best faculties of engineering in University of Uyo. Same thing with healthcare delivery system. We don't have a trauma center, not one in the entire of this area. Forget it. The first of its kind that we're about to establish is the one we're about to set up in the teaching hospital here. And fine, somebody might say these are federal institutions. I don't care. But if you go there, 80% of people occupying those places are Akwa Ibom people. So if the platform I need to have a partnership with IOC is a federal platform, I have the platform, so I must make use of it. And Akwa Ibom people will use it. The only one I took to partner with State University was the Skill Development Center, because of what me and you go through. If you have a problem in your house today that you need a plumber, your water will leak for 1 week. In fact, when the plumber comes, it will even make it worse. By the time he reconnects the pipes 2 times, you sleep at night. By the time you wake up, you put your leg inside water. Because there's no training center for these people. The worst of them is even those people you call when you go to do your car. How do you call them? Is it a Jawaya or whatsoever? Those auto electrician. Where did they learn those trade? Tell me which center they went to learn those things. And some of them just do it to make ends meet. Even the electricians in your house, things get burnt anyhow. No proper training center. So what did we do? I mean, when I campaigned, I said, look, I'm going to give you skill development center. That will take care of those techniques. And these are people who develop for oil companies. Because even as of today, we keep answering the largest producer of oil. How many of our people are actually in oil service companies? How many of our people are actually technicians in those places? So if I want to go through this one by one, enumerating what we've done in all different fields, I'm just trying to touch here and there. Somebody asked me the other day, you promised to do a cargo service at the airport. I said, how can I start cargo service if I don't have a taxiway? And I also noticed that when Abuja Major Runway had a problem, no plane could land because there was no alternative. So now that I've learned from the mistake of that place, and I'm doing a taxiway. So we're also doing a taxiway. If a major runway has a problem, we can at least land a Boeing 777. If you go there, just look at what we've done. I mean, look at the age of what we've done and then come back and give us a report. These are things that will endure. So we need all level of encouragement. You are my partners. Please, I don't say sell me, but let's sell Akwa Ibom. These are the only ways we can attract people. We can make this place a hub for investors because we have all what it takes. What are those things that make a place that heaven? Security, reliable infrastructure, transparent legislation. And I don't think you can ever ask for a government much more transparent than the way we are. This is the only government that labor people will walk up and ask me, how did I spend the Paris Club money that I was paid? Without answering, I just printed a bank statement and handed over to them. Ask the chairman of TUC, he will tell you. I gave them a bank statement. I didn't even tell them, let me analyze how I spent. Look at the entire bank statement. This is where the money came from. Check. If you cannot account to the last 1 penny, then come back and tell me. Let them mention to me in the whole country which government had ever done that. We run a far transparent system. Transparency in our financial reporting and everything. We can account for the last 1 penny we've collected. Fine, we are human beings, we could make mistakes. But those mistakes, well, can be looked at as have a glass of water. You might see it as half full or half empty, depending on your mind. So, my brothers and sisters, well, they call all of us here gentlemen of the press. I can articulate everything we've done in just a booklet and then share. And so that I can take questions. Please do me a favor. Instead for you to write and confuse the people, I'm here live. That thing you wanted to twist up and down, write anyhow you want to sell the paper. You don't need that at this time. We're in the 21st century. We don't need that. We don't need that at all. You can ask me now. Except it's deliberate. You know, there are some that they just write, this one is deliberate. Who don't mean this. Those ones I know, those ones are just deliberate. But the unfortunate situation is I'm so busy. I've never even had time to read it. Me that you want to do anyhow. If I don't read it, you are not benefiting from it now. So you can actually ask me those questions now. So I'll pause. Because I don't see myself going through everything we've done here now. I'll pause. I've not even entered other areas in which I'm yet to commission. I want to bet you that Akwa Ibom will host the first bamboo fiber factory in this country. That we've concluded. And people that pass through our flour mills, I can also assure you, by December this year, we should be producing flour from here. And that's why the Ikorobasi Logistics Center is very necessary for me. Because I need the water to bring those wheat and so on from wherever they can be and produce flour. You can imagine, our state, our people drive a long distance. Some of them pay money for 3 months. They don't get supply of flour. And people will be trading with our money, making a whole lot. And they are paying interest to the bank. They are losing money. Meanwhile, I know it's not rocket science. I can also get my people the same flour. Today, people pay a whole lot of money here for plywood. The quality of plywood we are going to produce here can even go for a chrome that you see for even vehicles and so on. Because we have wood all over the place. Why can't I move that? Bamboo is everywhere here. Why can't I move that bamboo fiber? If you go to Champs-Élysées in France, most of those things that you women pay 10 times the cost that you can buy from any other place. It's just the difference between a bamboo fiber and a cotton fiber. So these things are not rocket sciences. It's ideas and creativity and imagination that can actually bring things to pass. So please, any partners in progress.
Today, people pay a whole lot of money here for plywood. The quality of plywood we are going to produce here can even go for a chrome that you see for even vehicles and so on. Because we have wood all over the place. Why can't I move that? Bamboo is everywhere here. Why can't I move that bamboo fiber? If you go to Champs-Élysées in France, most of those things that you women pay,
I want to thank you and also appreciate you that
you can buy from any other place. Bamboo fiber and a cotton fiber.
Of education
this is not rocket science. It's ideas and creativity and imagination that can actually bring things to pass.
Math and science
all over the place. Why can't I move that? Bamboo is everywhere here. Why can't I move that bamboo?
56% of the average. Right now we move up to about 72 or so, if I'm not mistaken. So, but we are still not yet there. My target is for us to move above 8, and that will reduce. So that's why we're recruiting a whole lot of quality teachers. I've just hired 1,000. Head of service, how many have you just hired now? Over 2,000. So if we've done over 2,000 now, we are going to get small. And don't mind what people write or say in the radio. We are not owing 1 month's salary to anybody, except that person did not go through the normal processes. Fingerprint, BVN. Some people make this complaint. There's a very reputable man who came to my office and complained that since he got retired, he has not collected his pension. And I said, what happened? You know, I was scared whether there's a fraud somewhere, somebody is collecting his pension. Just for us to discover that this man feels so big that he didn't even fill the basic form. You know, when you leave civil service, joining the pensioners is like, you know, starting a new phase. So there are forms you need to fill. He never completed one form. Will we bring money to come and pay you in the house? And next minute, you are radio station saying what the governor is saying is not true. I don't need to tell people a lie. What I cannot do, I say I cannot do. But minor things that I know this one does not task my intellectual capacity. Those things do not take so much. I proud this state to be one of those states that pay salaries even without statutory allocation. So as we pay salaries, we pay pensions. The only area I keep saying so that we've not completely cleaned up, because I started from 2002, is gratuity. And as we get some extra money, we'll be paying. And I'm not hiding that anywhere. I cannot meet up all gratuity arrears that are inherited. I cannot overnight. But with time, will we pay? The answer is yes. Is it a priority? The answer is yes. But even when you're not getting gratuity, you're getting pension. So let's survive first, as we actually also, it's a very simple theory. I mean, I know in labor service, there's nothing like productivity parity, but that may come as it may. That's a story for another day. So some of these issues, I'd like to take some questions. I'll be taking questions 3 per block, so that those areas you believe you need to ask. But everything you need to know that we've done in the past 3 years, outside those ones I mentioned, that we deliberately omitted them. Then also, if you check this, you won't see details about, you won't see anything about the plywood factory. And I will tell you that when the camera people leave. Because you see, life, you know, you must devise a survival strategy. Life is all about strategy. And what strategy? Taking difficult decisions. Life is all about strategy. Even the way you sleep, if you don't have the right strategy, you wake up with a back pain. So everything in life is devised around strategy. So I will tell you why when camera people leave. Why I could not put the plywood factory in it. That's when they are not here. Because you know, this one, they are carrying me live. Before the whole world says, oh, that's what Akwa Ibom people are doing. It's not me that will blame, it's you people that you gave me the idea. So on that note, I will pause and then take some questions. And we'll take it off from there. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for applauding His Excellency the Governor. At this point, Mr. Xavier Ekpe, who already had a question, please.
Your Excellency, good evening, sir. My name is Effiong Usoro, editor of the Evangelist newspaper. I like this newspaper. I'm also an evangelist. Sir, recently the Akwa Ibom State Newspaper Corporation, publishers of the Pioneer newspaper, celebrated 30th anniversary. What are your plans for the multi-millionaire rotary machine procured by the immediate past administration for the corporation, and what plans do you have for the Pioneer newspaper? Thank you. Well, that one is very simple. The question there is, I spoke with the MD of Pioneer. If you were to retire from service today and somebody gives you those facilities, those machines, and also agree to pay your salary, can you take that business from that point? Let's stop looking at things like government. The same challenges I'm giving Ukwe. Why should Channels TV be winning TV of the year every day? You know, somehow you see for the 12th time. Very soon now they will lose. Why? Because it's the same market. It's the same market. Are we creating a different market for Pioneer? The answer is no. It's the same market. So make this thing also as a business, not as government. So thank God you're mentioning that you have one of the best fantastic machines. Those machines are assets. Assets are to create return. The question I should ask the MD of Pioneer newspaper is, the assets that were bought for you, how much returns have you created? So that it's not only to write about governor, also write about, if you are not faithful in managing Evangelist newspaper, you can't be faithful in managing Akwa Ibom State, because the management principles are the same. So I will throw the challenge back to them. Today I'm paying their salaries of their staff, which is the major overhead. So if I take the burden of staff salaries, I give you the machines, please make the market and create the money. Everything is about marketing. You can market whatsoever you have and make it be one of the best. So many papers today who are hitting the roof in terms of turnover and, image, and they didn't even have such, facilities to start with. So let me throw the challenge back to Pioneer that since you have all those assets, and I'm also taking a whole lot, please give me a newspaper that will be competitive to any other newspaper in Nigeria. Somebody the other time suggested, can we do a change of name? I don't think name is a problem. See, employees don't resign their jobs. They resign their employers. True or false? They resign their bosses. True or false? Okay, I thought I was talking to business editors. All right, question.
Please, Mr. Ekpe. Thank you.
Your name, your newspaper. If it's Global Concord, you say so. If it's Salmon, you say so.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, my name is Xavier Ekpe. I'm the State Auditor, Nigeria Union of Journalists. Your Excellency, I have two issues here. Number one is I want to draw your attention, Your Excellency, to gully erosion at Nsukka Fort. You may not be aware, sir. It's a very devastating erosion that is almost creating serious problem in that community. So please, I want to call your attention to it. Number two, Your Excellency, is about the national anger. The MRO, that is the MRO at the airport, Akwa Ibom Airport. Your Excellency, we are aware that the MRO needs about 10 billion naira to put it to run in view of the investment so far that have been put into it. Your Excellency, I want to find out what is actually keeping the full running of the MRO in view of its economic substance. And then finally, sir.
You said two questions, Mr. Ekpe. Thank you very much.
This one is not a question.
Thank you very much, sir. Can we do this well? Next person, please.
Since he's the first to ask, let him take the third one.
Thank you very much, sir. It's not even a question, sir. Your Excellency, this one is on a personal note. I want to formally inform you and also possibly invite you, sir, that next week I'm burying my mother that died.
Please send. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Gentlemen of the press, please. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ralph, can I quickly take those 3 questions?
Your Excellency, I think the last one is the one you wanted to ask first. The other
No,
ones
don't
were
worry,
preamble.
don't worry. Let me take the 3. Our sincere condolences on the demise of your mother. I believe the Bible says, ask and it shall be given. Since you've mentioned it, the Commissioner for Information will attend on my behalf. Well, for MRO, you contradicted yourself at the point. You said MRO needs 10 billion to complete, and state government does not have 10 billion to complete. And you now say, what is keeping MRO in spite of its economic importance? I think he contradicted himself. The stage we are now at that MRO is about not more than 60% complete. You cannot complete, if you are completing that MRO now, to which of the aviation companies are you completing it to that specification? Is it to Bombardier? Is it to Gulfstream? Is it to Boeing? Is it to which other one again? Airbus. I don't know whether I'm making sense. So what goes first on the MRO is to know the contracts. So what we've been trying to do is to see what market, because Nigerian market alone cannot justify it. So we're trying to see what do we have as a regional market. Had it been that we had something like the era of Nigeria Airways, would have been a perfect situation in that, we would have had a ready-made market. So in that case, we would have partnered with Nigeria Airways to service all their planes at that hangar. Because nobody will put that investment if it doesn't already have a pre-signed contract. So what we are scouting the world now to do is to see how we can pre-sign the contract. We've talked over and over again with the Chief of Air Staff. He had made us some promises too, but we're not relenting. We've had meetings with Bombardier, we had meetings with other, aviation and aircraft manufacturing companies. Once we are able to to reach an agreement on that, 10 billion naira, you can easily ask any bank, they will give you. In fact, even with that agreement alone, a bank will fund the completion. So those are some technical, because I can't complete MRO. If I complete MRO now, go and raise a bank loan, complete MRO, it will be like me flying an Airbus A380 from here to California empty. That's a classical example. It's like me going to get an Airbus A380 800 series and then just fly empty from here to California and fly it back. So you can imagine that would be a very serious waste. I keep saying so, I'm a businessman. So if I'm to get money anywhere to complete it, let me first of all make sure I have a market. I have an off-taker that will off-take that service, so that from day one, the money of Akwa Ibom people I'll get to put in there will be generating, returns to pay back that money, so that we can also put that money in something else. Then you talk about erosion at Nsukka Fort. Erosion is a major natural disaster. If you go around Akwa Ibom, it's one of the problems that we have. I remember there was a time we had a whole album of erosion sites here. I made a presentation to the president and so on. After that, the recession came up. As of today, we've not drawn on the ecological fund to enable us to do it. Even the one I did on Itam, Odukbani to road, up to today, I have not gotten reimbursed. All the amount of money we spent on federal roads till today, we've not gotten 1 naira reimbursement. And the resources we get now cannot take care of this. Let me give you an example. We got to partner with World Bank to take away the drain water at IBB Avenue. Assessment by World Bank. I'm not talking about local contractor. With the best standard of assessment and BME. World Bank is telling us we would not spend anything less than 56 billion to take that water out. Come and ask me what we went through to take water out of Nsukka. Though none of you have ever reported it, it's as if nothing used to happen there. Meanwhile, the keke that used to take you to work used to stop there to wash the keke before coming to take you. Then check what we did underground there to take that water out. Today, if it rains, in just the next 2 minutes, that place is as dry as anything. That's one thing about some of the infrastructure that you bury underground. That's why I say we're not for an applause. Because if you're for applause, you won't do most of those things. Because once you bury those things underground, nobody sees it. Next minute, somebody who can, will go to radio station and say things that might not have a proper understanding. But, my brother, the erosion site we have is overwhelming and is a pure natural disaster. I've told the Commissioner for Environment, first of all, to publish. Because the way we also discharge drains can also cause a whole lot of problem. Let people not also build so close to ravine site. Because can you stop natural disaster? The answer is no. Whether we like it or not, the sand on the ground is pure natural. That's why they call it natural. No matter what you do, you can only try to minimize it. But at times you even minimize it, the thing will still, cave in, because the underground sand, I'm not a geographer, I'm not an expert in that field. So I might not be able to explain, in deep detail what the nature does underground to make most of those ravines, ramp up the way you're feeling it now. But as government, we've intervened in so many. The one that happened in Aba, we intervened, and now we've intervened. So many sites now that we're working. It's limited to available resources. Thank you.
Mrs. Mariam Ako, please.
Your Excellency, my name is Marian Vincent Oku. I work with the NTA. Let me start by congratulating you on your 3rd anniversary as Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I want to say that recently we've had the news of Ibom Science Park back online. Back online in the sense that it is back in the news, that something will be happening there. Your Excellency, I would like to get an update on that and how soon life will be returning to that area. Now, let me also draw your attention, sir, to a place very close to Tropicana. It is called the Wet Park. In the course of our news gathering, we visited the Tropicana and something caught our attention. There's a place there where they have equipment for children, toys like an amusement park, locked up for years. And then we got there, we were moved that state resources could be used to procure such equipment and then locked up for years without being put to use. We also spoke with the villagers, and they also complained that government dumped those things there and abandoned the place. Your Excellency, I'd like to know what plans you have for that place. I also want to draw your attention to Uyo Village Road. As at the last time I passed through that road, Uyo Village Road is under threat.
Please.
And, since the coconut has also become a brand in Akwa Ibom State, there is a cashew plantation along that road. We've tried to find out the genesis of that plantation. We've not been able to. So many of the trees planted there. Your Excellency, I don't know if you could take a look at that and possibly also make it a brand. Then finally, we were so glad, sir.
You are taking 4 questions yourself.
Thank you, sir. Your Excellency, for the privilege.
Your questions on your village road is not clear.
Yes, I said the road is under threat, erosion.
Okay.
Yes,
the same
sir.
erosion.
Yes, sir, erosion. Okay. Then the cashew plantation on that road as well. And finally, on a personal note, I would like to know how soon NTA will be privileged to have His Excellency just come take a look at what we have in NTA. Thank you, sir.
Please, going forward, please, and please. Going forward, we'll only take 2 questions per person. Please, going forward, we'll only take 2 questions per person, please.
Well, unfortunately for others raising their hands, she raised 3 questions. Uyo Village Road erosion goes back to the same thing I said. If you check, that one coming close there too. The problem is not from that road. There's something remarkable. If you, we had a similar situation near Government House here, and we had to deploy Julius Berger. If you check, they've been working there. That Uyo Village Road was awarded to Niger Pet, and it's still the same threat. If you know the amount of money they are calling, you know it's not just like a road construction. If you know the amount of money they are calling, it's something that we are working seriously with World Bank to actually help us out. so that we can actually collaborate and see what we can do. But in the meanwhile, we can only do those interventions we are doing. Even that place, we took Niger Pet there, trying to do some intervention. These things are natural disasters, and we can only do the best we can. We've reported to federal government, we've written, we've done everything, but we've not gotten any help from federal government. Is that bad? So, we'll continue on that. Talking about the wet park at Tropicana, I can only say here, as of today, we got a company that can, if you check anywhere in the world, government cannot run wet and dry park efficiently. Efficiently to guarantee maximum safety that your child can actually go and swing on that thing. So the best bet is for us as government today to hand over that place to those who know how to run it best. We've signed an MOU with a foreign company. They've assessed some of those equipment. Well, there are one or two comments, one or two challenges, which I wouldn't like to mention in a press room like this. But those challenges are surmountable. Let me put it that way. We have a whole lot of challenges in some of those things, but they are surmountable. But I can only tell you as of today, we've entered into an agreement, partnership agreement, that we need to privatize that place.
Is for us as government today to hand over that place
so that
to those who know how to run it best.
We've
signed an MOU with a foreign company. They've assessed some of those equipment. Well, there are one or two comments, one or two challenges, which I wouldn't like to mention in a press room.
So it's not something that you whip a whole lot of sentiment about it. It's something that the day you open it, you know you've opened something that children will feel safe. You can imagine how we can be attacked by the whole world if, God forbid, a child is injured in that place because we didn't do the right thing. And since we don't have the expertise, we want to partner with those who have the expertise. That's what we are trying to do. In case you come back to ask me, similar thing with the hotel. Because as government now, we might not be able to run Ikot Ekpene, run the one in Oran, Le Meridien, and still run Hilton in Tropicana. Government is not, we don't have that brand to run those hotels. So we're about giving that to Hilton. And also we've also signed an MOU. If you go there now, they are doing due diligence to see how we can partner for that place to be, so that we can partner with those people. And also, it's better to own 30-40% shares of something than own 100% of nothing. So that's the way, that's the business sense in it all. And once we succeed in the hotel, certainly that will impact directly on the conference center. So once the hotel is selling, you can easily raise money from anywhere and from any source to complete the conference center. Know that will sell the conference center for you to realize your money and pay it back. But unfortunately, our resources cannot carry those things as social investment any longer. It must be made under a proper business investment for it to make sense to the state government. Ibom Science Park. I'm sure I will answer this in two facets. Number one, I stopped a young man one time. He saw me in a program. He said, sorry, sir, when you presented the budget, you mentioned something about Science Park. And I asked him today, what if we set up a science park? What will be your take from that science park? Because it's one thing for me to ask for something, and another thing for me to know what core value will I draw from that. As NTA conduct a quiz about those who are talking about science park, ask them, if we set up a science park today, what are their expectations of the core value they will draw from science park? That's number one. That's an assignment for you. I expect results in 2 weeks' time. Then, in this other side, we could have the original design of Science Park several years ago. Technology is evolving. In fact, the iPhone you used in 2016, today, even if you're running, what do you call it, BlackBerry, you see every day, they say tap to update, tap to update. Tap to update. That's technology. They imagine the design that was done several years ago is completely obsolete as far as technology is concerned. But the concept is still valid. And that concept is what we want to sell. That concept is what we want to rebrand. That concept is what we want to redesign. That concept is what we want to redevelop. So, and to redesign, redevelop, and get that concept. First of all, you need a partner. I don't have the technical know-how. You don't have. Nobody in this room has. We must rely on the technological partners. And how do we do that? Step by step. Like right now, I say I'm creating a hub of Microsoft in Akwa Ibom that we start running a pilot a test run very soon, a pilot test run very soon. So the same thing with Science Park. Even as of today, we discuss. There's a group where we are discussing. Fine, we have the building, we have the site. Who can actually come, and why we provide the infrastructure, they provide the technology, because that's the only idea. Today, I don't have the technology. I don't even know new apps that are coming up now. You don't know too. We only buy these apps and use. 90% of the people inside this room, prove me wrong if I challenge you wrongly. The features in your phones, you've not used 20% of it. I'm being generous by saying 20. Most of you, but you buy the most expensive phone just to do text messages and then answer call and then surf the net and so on. You don't use 10% of the features in those phones. Go and check. A lot of people are crazy about iPhone X. Come on, iPhone X is a mobile office. It's a mobile office. I can use iPhone X and approve all the memos if all my MDAs are automated. But people just, iPhone X is out. That's the nature of technology. So I believe we are taking the right decision, and we hope we get the right result, because we don't just want to do something just for the name of it and for doing sake. Resources are scarce. It must be deployed and used judiciously, and for something that will give us commensurate returns, not just for self-aggrandizement. But believe me, decisions we are taking are the best we can take for now. I don't know what tomorrow will hold, but you will review them based on activities of today and say we've taken the best decisions in most of those facilities. Thank you. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, thank you very much.
On my birthday.
Elder Namso-Morin, please.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. And I must say that I'm happy at your performance in these 3 years in various sectors. But there is a threat to the future of the economy of Akwa Ibom State, to which I want to invite your attention. There is a bill from the presidency to the National Assembly. And those of us who lived through post-control days and in the battles, we know that if by any error the presidency gets through that attempt to bring us back to the resource control, I am sorry of what will happen to the people and the future of Akwa Ibom people. So I want to believe that as a government, your administration would take serious interest in mobilizing those who should stop the bill at where it is. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elder Namso-Morin. Thank you very much. Please, we can go towards the back. We can go towards the back. Is a gentleman? Yes. That gentleman there, please.
Your Excellency, good evening. My name is Samuel Abasekong.
Samuel, please go ahead.
My name is Samuel Abasekong. I write for News Authority.
What's the paper?
Authority.
News Authority,
News
sir.
Authority.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a branch anywhere in Abuja or Kaduna?
Yeah. Your
Go ahead with
Excellency,
your question.
I want to appreciate you for some of the things you are doing, like you patronize local contractors to build our roads and so many other infrastructures. But Your Excellency, you are not patronizing journalists. Like they just concluded Democracy Day. and that has been a culture in your government, that you give advert to national newspapers and you give the what we call the wrap-up, the cover and the back page, and as stand to be corrected at the sum of about 40 million naira. You do that in Sun newspaper. You did that in Nation.
Are you sure of your figure?
Please.
You know you're live on TV. Are you sure of your figure, or you're just sensationalizing the audience?
No, I said I stand to be corrected, sir. And you also give us advert to some of the local newspaper, but sometime at the sum of 60,000, 50,000, and we are buying in the same market in Nigeria. Sir, I want to appeal to you that same as you patronize local contractors, you should also patronize journalists.
I think your point has been taken. Next question, please.
Next question, sir, is that I'm not done, sir.
If you have a second question, please, quickly, please.
I have the second question, sir. The question is this. There is still this issue of lingering insecurity in the state. Unukanafon, Aritmepo, and the rest. I foresaw this thing. I said I could also bring my quota as a citizen of this state. In one of the press conferences, Congress of the Nigeria NUJ, on the 25th of January, I suggested to your commissioner, the commissioner of works who came to our Congress, and summarily he is the patron of NUJ South. I told him that I have an antidote in the vandalization
security
of
in the state.
street lights.
And my colleague asked me, I foresaw this thing. I said I could also bring my quota as a citizen of this state.
And I gave the
in one of the press
commissioner.
conferences,
And
Congress of the Nigeria NUJ on the 25th of January.
Security in this state. And I'm told that you KIV that proposal. That proposal was that, like some developed countries, if an incident happen now in Washington, in less than 48 hours, the country will be picked up. I suggested the same technology for the government of Akwa Ibom State.
Okay, thank you. I think your question is
Please,
noted.
your point has been made.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have three questions. Let me quickly go through them. Number one, the water bill. I don't know how many of you watched the emergency meeting we convened of South governors on Wednesday. That was one of the major issues we addressed as South governors. It's not only affecting South, it's affecting everybody from Lagos State, Ondo State, Bayelsa, Delta, everybody, whoever has water is affected by that bill. Because if you look at that bill, it's vesting everything water, surface water and underneath water in the federal government. It is a very dangerous bill. But I want to believe the rest of the answer is not what I can
we
give
addressed as South governors.
Okay. I don't know whether you're
It's not only
satisfied with
affecting
that.
South,
But
it's
if we did
affecting
not take it, we would have
everybody
called
from
for
Lagos
emergency
State,
meeting of the entire South.
Ondo State, Bayelsa, Delta,
Okay.
everybody, whoever has water
So we're not sleeping over
is
it.
affected by that bill. Because if you look at that
advert
bill,
to
it's
national
vesting
newspapers.
everything
As
water,
at last week,
surface water and underneath water
the chief press
in
secretary
the federal
gave
government.
20 local
It's a very
newspapers. advert.
dangerous bill.
Let me say
But I want
something.
to believe the rest of the answer.
You see, I don't see black and call white. If I do that, it means I'm not even sincere to myself. But if you're developing a business, please, you need to develop that business with all amount of sincerity first to yourself, else you can never reach the top. If today you want to tell me the reach of your authority newspaper and the reach of Punch is the same, it means you're not ready for business. That's number one. Then number two, while we try to appreciate, I can also challenge you that 98% of the newspapers that they sell are not actually, we don't know the addresses. We don't know where they are. But I know where Punch House is. I know where Guardian. So, I know where those newspaper houses are. Please, honestly, I repeat myself, I am a businessman. If you want to really make a name, see, go back, journalism, in the era of Chronicle, the deputy governor is here. National Chronicle then were edited by so many Akwa Ibom people. It used to be something of pride. If you really want to make a career out of journalism, you can come out. We can talk. But don't just operate, under the current technology. I can also do the same printing. I can use A3. What does it take? There's no more typesetting, nothing. Just normal word on A3. I can produce anything you want. So, if you really want that, and also, instead of having 200 newspapers, if you really want to develop journalism and compete with others, Daily Trust started somehow. I can keep counting. I don't want to mention newspapers. Most of these newspapers,
I can use A3.
Some of you have started
What does it take?
this thing before.
There's no more typesetting.
Instead of having 200
just
newspapers,
normal word.
why
on
can't we
A3.
say,
I can produce anything you
let
want.
bygone be bygone? 10 of us can
So,
come together. We put all the
if
assets
you
we have
really
together
want
and form one newspaper.
and
State
also,
government, how
instead
can
of
you
having
help us?
200 newspapers,
Even if I don't have money to put,
if you
I can
really
help
want
you
to
talk
develop
one or two
journalism
investors.
and compete
Sorry,
with others,
you might
Daily
not
Trust
realize.
started somehow.
If you send an email now,
I can keep counting. I
into
don't want to
the
mention
investment
newspapers.
market, I send an email.
Most of these
I can bet you
use
they will
A3.
answer
Some
my
of you
email
ask,
without
what does
answering
it
your
take?
own.
There's no more typesetting.
Instead of having 200,
just normal word.
that's how God made life to be. So if we really want to do business, instead of having 200 newspapers, we can collapse everything and start with 2-3, and that 2-3 can give birth to more. And so that we pool our resources together and learn to work with one another. It's not only newspaper, even churches too. You see, proliferation of churches everywhere. Everywhere. Once somebody has preached 2 or 3 times for another pastor, the next minute he has a call. I don't know whether they call God or God called them. I need to differentiate between the two. Because there's somebody God had called to set up a ministry, and somebody who has called God to go and set up a ministry. Same thing with this one. I think we can actually get that done. But I just want to encourage you that if you're doing business today, please, I know Kia has 4 tires. Mercedes-Benz, BMW has the same 4 tires. The Kia and Mercedes-Benz can never be priced the same. The only thing Kia prays for is one day they will also reach the same technological development like Mercedes-Benz and BMW. Am I correct? God bless you all. You people are the on security challenges, I don't know whether you listened to how I answered that question when I made my presentation. Clean. Sir, let me tell you, there's no society on planet Earth that is completely rid of challenges of security. Anywhere in the world today, even if you go to the World Economic Center, things happen per 5 minutes. After all, we've been reading where even a high school student will enter school with a gun in the pocket and just spray everybody. How people would drive trucks, ram into parks and so on. The world is getting to an end, whether you believe it or not. So most of these things will come in form of security challenges. The question there is, are we doing our best as government? The answer is yes. And today, if you are to give assessment and you want to be sincere with it, enter your closet. Right. Have the security situation improved? If you can even do an opinion poll. For the fact that people decided to sponsor some miscreants, Kanafun and Atemegbo, and we are also handling the challenge headlong. Doesn't mean that you can never have a society that is zero crime free. Even with the way we envelop the cities, do you know there are some nights people will wake me up? Even a guard from other compounds will jump into a compound. And it's the most difficult crime to control at night. Because as you're coming with your motor, with the light, the guy has jumped back. So tell me, you've never been to that area before. How will the police know where to jump into? You just go and jump inside a pit latrine. So it's extremely, some of these things are things that we on our own, we also need to do something. Please, I've said so. If you live in an estate and you see uncompleted buildings or abandoned properties that you don't know the kind of people who are occupying those, let us know. We read those places. That's where they are hiding. You see abandoned properties anywhere. People are moving in and out. And let me also tell you something. There's a community, I won't mention since I'm live on TV. There's a community that was watching a young man. And this man today will come out as police inspector or assistant commissioner of police. Next day, he will come out as army colonel. Next day, he will come out as something. And the community people kept quiet. They kept quiet. That alone should actually give you a signal that, look, this is not the kind of person that you need within that environment. So, if you don't let us know, we might not be able to. And all these things started in one way or the other. And I'm on live TV. Let me also make an appeal. Parents, what is happening now in most these places he's talking about is 99.99% out of cultism. The bedrock of every problem, security challenges that we have in this country, the bedrock of crime, when we trace, is traced to cultism. People are initiated into cult. The first thing they do is to give them gun. I don't know whether that's what we need as a society. I don't know whether that's the best value system we can hand over to our people. That wasn't the practice. That wasn't our society. That wasn't our culture. That wasn't what we were built to understand. But that's what is taking place now. And when you initiate these people to the group, you are the chief now. The same thing we are talking about, you know, it's like any other thing now. So once those people grow, they also need to go and form their own organization. Because they too, they want to be chief executive like you. So next minute, they also look for small boys to recruit. Do you believe in a society today, even when we were doing the sports festival, I'm sorry to say this on TV, but I don't have a choice because I want the society to be corrected. Even when we were doing the sports festival of secondary school and primary schools, people were threatening each other. Pupils were threatening each other based on cult groups. So government cannot do it alone. Parents have a role to play here. You see a brother who is behaving somehow, you need to caution that brother. Sorry, that's not what he needs to make it in life. You can challenge me anytime to it. That's not what he needs to make it in life. Most of them go, they don't come back. I'm on live TV, I can't tell you everything. Some of them, even at the point of initiation, they don't come back. And next minute you report at the police station, you've not seen your child, you've not seen your brother. When he started, did you caution him? And everything today we want to put on government. We have a role to play. Let us let our people know that that's not the way to succeed. That's not the way how to make it in life. All the people have made it in life, that wasn't the way. There's a better way to make it in life. So please, let us also help one another. As much as we have, we as government will also do our best. We'll also carry out some of the campaigns all around. Somebody sent me a question here. I believe this person knows that after this ones, I think I will end. Your Excellency, in 3 years, your administration, how much have you collected? Let me say something here. This is one government, I publish accounts every year. And as much as I believe my brain is still intact, I carry so many things, I cannot carry all the figures. So that I don't mention something wrong here. You pick it tomorrow, you now start saying the governor told you a lie. But please, I refer this person to my published account, fully audited, and has gone through Public Accounts Committee of the State House of Assembly. So, it's gone through an integrity test. So you can pick a copy. Once you pick a copy, you have any issue and so on, please try and let us, we explain everything to you. But once you want to now say I should stand here and start reeling out figures that I don't have here, I may not have it. You also talk about pensioners complain about non-payment of gratuity. This I've explained. Don't let me say one thing 200 times. I have paid all pensioners. Up till tomorrow, I need to see that pensioner who say he has not been paid. Let the person go. That's head of service. If you work with the, and people should also differentiate. There are 3 tiers of government: federal, state, local government. As I'm sitting here, I can't go to federal government and tell them to come and pay my own pensioner. I pay my pensioner because I also go for my statutory allocation. The law is very clear. Only 26% of all the federation account money come to state government. So we mean state government don't even get 1% of federation account. We are 36 states. We get 26%. So local government also get. So everything I do for local government is an intervention. It's an intervention. So let's get that corrected. It is not my responsibility to take care of local government gratuities and pension. But I only intervene because these are Akwa Ibom people. So let them not see it as my own responsibility. The 3 tiers of government have responsibilities. The same way I don't go to federal government and ask them to come and pay my state pensioners, neither will any other state do that. Same thing goes for local government. Today, I intervene in primary health care. I intervene in primary school. I intervene in salary payment. So please, don't take all those responsibilities and give me as much as I'm willing to intervene as is convenient for us resource-wise. So let people also know that, because I keep reading this all the time. People just assume there's no difference between local government and state government. We run a unitary system of government in Nigeria. So get yourself abreast with the Constitution. I know that whatever we do under local government is an intervention. Somebody wrote here, the meters made in Ona have made in China written on them. Can we please write package in Akwa Ibom on them? We need to promote Akwa Ibom brands. Somebody wrote this and I talked to the manufacturers. I don't have the text message here. There was a technical thing he explained. You know, we had an agreement that we would, package. We had a milestone. The first 3 years, what we'll do, the next 2 years, then the next 2 years. There's no complete transfer of technology for now. So some of those panels that we don't have probably a tin plate or steel to make it in Nigeria, those steels we still import them because, it must stand the standard. So those ones, there are several parts. It's like an aeroplane. The aeronautics of any aeroplane is done, let me not say any. The aeronautics of most aeroplane is done by Honeywell. And if you enter aeroplane, you see there clearly, made by Honeywell. And they don't make noise. Meanwhile, the body of the plane could be Gulfstream. So, let us not assume that Akwa Ibom will overnight manufacture all the parts of a metering solution factory. It's gradually. We are getting to where there will be transfer of technology in full. But let's start somewhere for now, and we'll get there. We are so much in a haste. That's why the Asians, in those days, when we get to the market, we used to have a bar made. We used to have made in Taiwan. Taiwan people sustain their own.
Body of the plane
today,
to be Gulfstream.
They are manufacturing for the whole world. We that had a bar made, but
let us not assume that
Akwa Ibom
will overnight manufacture all the parts
that we're
of a metering solution factory. It's gradually. We are getting to where they will be transferred in full. But let's start somewhere for now, and we'll get there. We are so much in a haste. That's why
we're not that consistent.
The Asians, in those days, when we get to the market, we used to have a bar made. We used to have made in Taiwan. Taiwan people, they are manufacturing for the whole world. We that had a bar made, but let us not assume that Akwa Ibom will overnight manufacture all the parts that we're calling a metering solution factory. It's gradually. We are getting to where they will be transferred in full. We don't start somewhere for now, and we'll get there. We are so much in a haste. That's why we're not that consistent. The Asians, when we get to the market, we used to have a bar made. We used to have made in Taiwan. Taiwan people, they are manufacturing for the whole world. We that have a bar made, but let us not assume
well, I'm not rewriting the history, but it's clear. Those people in those days, when we were one state, they are all from that area. But it's only when, when we were creating local government areas. So they are purely our brothers. We are trying to see how we can actually devise a better solution. Because it seems the solution proffered so far has not really worked. Let's see what we can do. I keep saying so. I cannot say everything about security at a point I'm starting right now. So I need to manage my words on security. I think I've answered all the questions they sent to me here. So on that note, I want to thank all of you again. Camera, you can disconnect me now.
Please, live broadcast, live stream.
It's on that note, I want to thank all of you and appreciate Akwa Ibom people for the support that we've gotten in the past 3 years. I thank you, and please, a job well done means more job to be done. If I thank you for the support, means I need more support. Give me more support and see whether we cannot build a strong economy for our people. If you have other questions I've not been able to answer today, NTA is inviting me to a live program. Any day I appear, just let me have that question. I'll take it up on that day. But please don't go and write like somebody, Authority newspaper, said that we're paying 40 million naira. I don't know how you can pay 40 million naira only for one front page of a newspaper. It is not correct. And he says he's standing to be corrected. How will I correct you when already you've made up your mind on what to say? So whether you're standing or sitting, I don't know what kind of correction I can make there. So I can really thank all of you for everything you've done, your support. Please, so many things I said that we didn't capture there. But I want to believe by the time we do 31st anniversary of the state, we'll give you something that will capture a lot more. And things that are sensitive, please protect us, protect the state. We don't need to blow certain things open yet to the public until we'll arrive at our destination. I want to wish all of you a very successful business. You've chosen this career, you've chosen this field. The way others made it, you can also make it. What matters most is your attitude. If you don't abuse the seat of authority, God will also give you authority. Authority is not only through government. Authority, you can also be an authority in your field. You can also be authority in whatever you've chosen to do. But the day you abuse authority wrongfully in something they've not done, God of authority does not always allow those people to rise to authority. So let's play knowing fully well. You know, there used to be this thing they said about Nigeria, that there is God, though.